Good morning, Grace, and good
Hey,
morning,
Linda.
everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be back at Bookish.
Oh, it's so good to have you back with us, especially right before your release of the Reliable Narrator. Everybody, you know Grace, and I think you know her book, The Eves. It was such a wonderful novel.
Thank you.
And how many years ago that came out in 2020, 21? Am I
It
right?
was 2020. I was one of those wonderful
Oh, right.
pandemic debuts.
Right, right. You were with us and the debuting during the pandemic. So it's been quite a long time and it's well worth it, everybody. I had the chance to read The Reliable Narrator and I don't know if I could say it's better. It's just as good, if not better, than The Eves. It's different and it's wonderful.
Thank
But
you.
Grace, it took you a long time. Why?
Well, it took me a long time because there were three books in between. There was the Launchpad book
Oh, right,
series
right.
of which you have a chapter. So there was Launchpad, the countdown to writing your book, publishing your book, and marketing your book. So those came out relatively quickly after the Eves. And then, quite honestly, I was done. I know I've said that. People hear me say that. They know that I'm never done. I actually know I'm never done. But that was an exhausting process to get three books out in 5 months. And I really did. I thought I was done at least writing novels because I've always written both fiction and nonfiction. And I thought I was done writing novels. And then my friend, Linda Rosen, you came over to my home one afternoon and we were playing with the idea for your just launched book. And I was so jealous of all the possibility that you had in for abandoning the script. You didn't have a title, you had pieces, and you and I played around for 2 days with all of the things you were thinking about. And I was really jealous, but I was also excited. And somehow watching those juices between us flow and you getting words on a page, I went, wait a minute. I think I have something. And then the reliable narrator. I think I sat down 2 days later after you
You
left.
practically had a book a week later.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. But I did have a book that was in March, I think, and I finished the book at the end of August.
Yeah, it was fast and it just poured out of you.
This one did.
And these characters that, I mean, they're fabulous. So give us a quick little synopsis of the book.
The book is about a ghostwriter, a very famous New York ghostwriter who is coveted by the publishing houses. They want her for sure to write this book and everybody else's book, but she doesn't ever write her own story. She is hiding behind everybody else's truth until her fabulously flamboyant, amazing friend calls and says, I want you to write our story, and we're running out of time because I'm dying. And then Darby is forced to tell their story.
Yeah, then that's a gripping part. I mean, and that it makes you not only want to keep reading the novel, but you think about yourself in that, if as a friend, whether you're a ghostwriter or not.
Mhm.
And Darby's a wonderful character, and Phoebe of the Scranton Zaslavs or something like that. I
Yes, yes.
love how you made her larger than life. I mean, she's wonderful. But you have some other quirky characters in there. You've got Virginia and Leonard,
Oh,
who aren't even alive. So
Virginia,
tell us why.
Virginia and Leonard Woolf. That so funny how that came to me. I wanted Darby to have a sense of her own space. So I'm very drawn to Virginia Woolf's book, A Room of Your Own. And I was so drawn to that, I thought, oh, well, Darby will just have on her desk a first edition of that book, and she'll have a picture of Leonard and Virginia. And all of a sudden, as you know, Linda, the characters start talking to you. So the characters of Virginia and Leonard very much become Darby's muses.
Yeah.
And she talks to them and they talk back.
That's what I
And
love. They actually talk.
It was very fun to do the research on that because I only knew the big picture. I saw the movie, I think with Meryl Streep in it. And so I knew the pieces, but I love saying that Virginia Woolf was a self-published author because she and her husband, Leonard, literally got a little printing press, put it on the dining room table, and cranked out books by Freud, by T.S. Eliot, by really people who have become so famous. So I love saying that truly Virginia Woolf was self-published, but she also is a vehicle into some of the tougher themes in the book, the themes of abuse, of domestic violence, of suicide. And somehow it all winds up being very uplifting and joyful. Leonard and Virginia actually serve quite not only as muses, but as a funny sort of counterpoint to some of the sadder things that happen in the book.
They do. And you take on some really tough topics in this book, the abuse and I mean, some death. They give it their poignant thoughts, but they lift up the story. It makes it a little lighter when they're in. You can't help smiling when you're reading their words, and the whole scene, all the scenes with them. It's a lot of fun. The other character that I loved seeing again, if any of you remember the Eves, if not, go back and read it because it's so
Thank you.
good, is Roy. Roy shows up again here. Now, was that a plan or did he just say, "Hello, Grace, I'm coming again"?
Absolutely not planned. I've toyed with writing a sequel to The Eves, but that never happened. And I wanted there to be a very reliable next door neighbor for Phoebe. And I just kind of sketched him out and I went, he certainly seems like Roy. And so, yeah, Roy shows up beautifully in this. And it was so fun to write him again. And it's really interesting. One of the things I love writing flawed characters and I love writing characters that come to life. And book clubs and everybody tells me I do a pretty good job of that. What they always tell me is the least credible character is this perfect Roy Gillis. And I always find that so funny because he's based entirely on my husband. There's
Your
nothing,
husband is that's a shame.
I think he's
Um,
perfect.
but okay, Roy is not flawed. He does have a history. He does have a backstory of his own. Um, but yeah, he's just the perfect guy. So
He
you're very
is.
lucky with your husband because this Roy is the perfect guy.
I am. I am.
Yes. Okay, and now two more things I really want to find out about. The setting is gorgeous in New Mexico in the Sandia Mountains. And like you have said to me, it's a character in itself. I know you spend time there. Was that why you wanted to set it there, or were the mountains calling to you?
Most, I think, are true. The place where Darby lives is actually in Croton on Hudson,
Right.
and very much put in the house that my brother lives in. It's just a beautiful home. When I write, I want characters to be able to figure out this is where she keeps the tea. These are where the pots and pans are. I want them to be able to smell what's cooking on the stove. So making place a character is very important to me.
Yeah.
So I tried to do that with Darby's home, but the bulk of it takes place just outside of Albuquerque in the North Valley of Albuquerque, which is very different. It's lush, it's not dusty. It has these beautiful views of the Sandias. And the mountains change color all day long, depending on how the sun hits them. And the word sandia actually is watermelon and
Oh,
in
that's right.
Spanish.
Yeah, yeah, you said
So
that.
the
Yeah.
the mountains, particularly at sunset, turn this amazing, beautiful watermelon red, and we captured that on the cover.
I
Uh,
love the cover. I love that swing. You just want to sit there and look out at the mountains as they do in the book. It's beautiful. I think we need a bookish road trip to New Mexico.
I would love to lead it. It's
Wouldn't that
beautiful.
be nice? I love that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I want to end with something you have in the book, and it's even on Amazon, this phrase, um, because some truths are hidden. Wait, because some truths aren't hidden. They are simply waiting to be claimed. If, if everybody just say that again, because some truths aren't hidden, they are simply waiting to be claimed. I mean, you really have to sit with those words. So what is it about that? Please expand on it.
Did with this book, it's very much about claiming your story. Eve's was to a certain extent as well. I believe each and every one of us has a story to tell, but we don't tell it for one reason or another, or we only tell it to a small portion of people. And for me, what I wanted with this book, for the readers and the characters to embrace their story, to hold their truths and to share their truths. So a lot of what Darby is doing is she's hidden behind other people's stories, but she's a clear, sloppy mess to everybody else. So they know about it. She just hasn't claimed it. So I think it's a story very much about knowing who you are, claiming who you are, and sharing who you are so you can be authentic.
Beautifully said. It's a beautiful thought, and something really to think about as you're reading the book, especially how you put it in to a ghostwriter as your protagonist. It's wonderful. So the book comes out tomorrow, May
5,
5, Amazon,
everywhere.
everywhere you can buy a book. Really, people, go to your bookstore and ask for it. Go to your indie bookstore and ask for it rather than just buying it on Amazon, which we love Amazon. Okay, I got to say that. I got to say that. But yeah, it would be
For
great.
libraries, right, Linda?
And ask your library to get the book also. And is it coming out in audio?
We're playing
No,
with that. Not
I'm
yet.
playing with that
Just
idea.
no, it's an ebook and paperback.
Okay, and your libraries can get the ebook also.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
the ebook is on sale for the next 10 days.
Wonderful. Well, we at Bookish are so happy to have you back with us, even for just this few moments. And I wish you tons and tons of success with this wonderful book.
Linda, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate all you do. And everybody at Bookish Road Trip, great to see you again. Bye bye.
Bye bye.